Hi there, I'm Shauna from Infinity Readings. I will be doing the reading for the Virgo male in a coupled relationship. Hey guys, I wanted to take a minute here just to kind of acknowledge what I've done for this winter season. I managed to change up a few things. I vamped the logo a little bit. I actually got Aaron at Active Dynamics here. He has managed to make my intro for me, so I'm very thankful for that. He did a great job. I couldn't have done it. So thanks, Aaron, for that. I appreciate it immensely. And also to Ikson for my theme music. It's beautiful, upbeat, happy tunes. I can't get enough. I am now going to his page because it's just that great. It's all good gravy stuff. So I couldn't have revamped my winter season without these dudes around me. So I'm lucky enough to have them in my corner. So thanks, guys. Ikson, great work. Aaron, thanks again. Great work. So take care, guys. Enjoy your season. And Ikson, if you ever want a reading, just hit me up, man. Just email me. I will kick in and we'll set something up. In the meantime, take care. Have fun, you guys, and enjoy the readings. I use a whole bunch of different decks. We go and I'm going to overview. I'm trying to get you through your love blocks. We're looking at love and romance here. So the first card I get from the Thelema deck is 12, the Hangman. Now the Hangman is about having a different perspective, and they're going, that is what this man has come across at this point. He has to look at things from a different perspective. Okay, now the next card I get is 7, the Chariot, and the Chariot is about movement. So my stance here, or the energy that I'm translating here is like, okay, we have a different perspective on things that have happened here recently, and because of that, it's creating us to move in a certain direction. Okay, take action in a certain direction. I feel sometimes you can get conflict with this Chariot card, but I don't feel that for this Virgo male. He is very unconflicted at this point, or for the majority of the winter season. Okay, I see as being very focused and driven and very highly ready to take action. Okay, now the next card I get is the 7 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles is this woman she's got her basket ready to collect, right? Ready to collect all these coins that she's built and sewed and watered and put a lot of work into. So I feel like that has something to do with the situation here. Now, I don't know if he's going somewhere to wait or if he's waited and, things are not coming to fruition. But the next card is the 5 of Wands, and that is basically signifying struggle and strife. A lot of energy and action is what I get from this card in this deck. Usually the potential for energy to explode in one direction. Now, this is at the end of that line. So we're coming from some hang time here where we're backing off of something, looking at something differently than we were in the past. Having movement right next to it. So because of that viewpoint, I feel like because of the way this man has changed his mind or situations that have caused it, right? He is looking at things different and he's ready to take action. Now, the 7 of Pentacles is looking in the direction of the action. So we're waiting. We may be waiting on something to take action here. But I feel a lot of fire energy, like ready to pounce. But we're waiting on something to happen first before we take that action. It's like this man is like right at the edge of the seat here, ready to go, but he's not yet got the signal for whatever that is. Okay. Now the next line gets a little deeper into things here, and it was funny because when I was shuffling, oh man, I was shuffling and cards were spitting out, and it was like they weren't sitting right in the deck. And I was like, man, this is a stubborn card. And he didn't want to shuffle, so I put him on the top of the deck and I laid him out first, and that was the King of Swords from the Dreamer's deck. Now, this guy is getting a reputation when I'm dealing. He doesn't come out very often for me. But at this point, the King of Swords, of course, that's an air sign, right? And this guy here, he is in no shit mode. He is in the mode, and the sword there that he's burying, it's like, just you dare and cross my path, because, you know, I don't let nobody in. Kind of like a barrier, but moreover, I got stubbornness from this. This guy ain't going the way nobody's going to tell him to go. He's going to go the way he feels he's going to go, right or wrong. He's headed in a direction, right? And this is what this King of Swords is all about. It's like my mind, and I don't care. And he may not have a lot of emotion. Let me rephrase that. May not have a lot of warmth behind that decision or that way he's going forward. It's all logic. But that sword is like, you tell me the truth and we're going to get to the bottom of things. And this is what he is seeing and going forth with. A sense of truth and clarity, though I don't know that that's severely what that's. I think that he is thinking he is going forward in truth and clarity. Okay. But I feel a sense of really boundless energy here. We may be jumping before or leaping before we look clearly, but nonetheless, he feels he's in clarity. So we'll continue on. So the King of Swords, that's that air sign, right? So he's going to be a clear, logical thinker, and he's going to move forward from that mentality. Okay. Very powerful and very, I feel, a huge part of this guy's energy. So again, out of his element, he is an earth. He's strong, slow, steady, methodical. And though he's thinking, now things are a little fierier. Even though it's not a fire element, it's air. But there's a lot of thoughts going on, and we're prepared to go in any direction here. So the card beside the King of Swords is the Star. Okay, so the universe kind of smiling and going, okay, well, we got him moving. So now what? You know, where are we going to go? And that's what I think this man is kind of, I don't know if he's conflicted. Because like I said, he's made up his mind to go in a direction. It's just, what is he going to do in that direction, right? How is he going to handle it? So the universe is kind of sitting there going, well, this is good because we got him moving. Now we got to see where he goes. The next card, after the Star, is the Five of Wands. So we got 2 5 Wands cards. So 2 fiery. So that really is where he's at. He's thinking. There's a lot going on in his head, and it's all logistic. I mean, we are going to deal with facts and figures here. There's going to be no emotion involved, and I'm going forward, and I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm taking action. Now, I still get a sense of pause here, because this Five of Wands is underneath that Seven of Pentacles of waiting on something. In a sense that he's waiting on word, waiting on one of the dominoes got to fall first before this man moves, but I'll tell you, he's ready and raring to go. It's 2 5s, man. That's heavy fire energy. And not only that, conflictive, right? So there's obviously conflict here, and we're diving deeper into the romance side. So yeah, adversity, stuff like that. So under the first Five of Wands is the Hierophant. So this is interesting. So if we have a marriage here, that would signify struggles within that. Okay. It's surrounded. I mean, we're surrounded. This Hierophant is the epitome of stability, solid foundations, you know, people that we look to for wisdom. All of it is in struggle, surrounded. It's overlooked by Five of Wands, and it's to the left of Five of Wands. So we are completely shot out with struggles around us, especially when it has to do with something that we feel secure and confident, or had been in the past, or should be in the present, that kind of thing. There's just trouble and strife surrounding that. So we're talking about relationships here. That's what's going on. We got struggle and strife and quarrels and squabbles and arguments. So it is not all warm and fuzzy here. We got some thinking to do, and I feel like, yeah, that new perspective, right? We're suddenly changing our tone. So the next row is the Lenormand cards, and I use that to kind of split up between the love area and the regular general energies. And the first card I got is pretty clear cut. Even when I was shuffling this out, I was like, oh man, you can't take this any other way. The first card is 17 Storks. So this is a card about a lot of things. Could be a literal move. So we have two cards here that symbolize movement. So this could be an actual move. We are moving away from a partner, a relationship, a situation, okay? Or it could be a promotion here. Now, I'm going to move to the next card. I'm not going to bother explaining. I'll go back over it. The next card under the star is the 10, the scythe. Now, that is cutting away, right? Getting to, it's also a symbol of strife and all of this stuff that's already here. It's emphasizing that, but it's emphasizing it to a point. We got to get rid of something here, and we got to do it now because this is getting ridiculous. This is not my judgment. I don't know what you're going through. I'm just translating, okay? So this is what it is, and I don't know if that's his thoughts on the situation. It's like, this is getting ridiculous, or if this is yeah, it seems like it's kind of his thoughts. You know, I've had enough. I'm getting ridiculous. I can't put up with this anymore. Now, interestingly enough, as we move on from the 10, we get 7, which is the snake, which is malicious intent, right? And that's what I'm getting here, because it's right under the 5 of what we could just struggle and strife, and again, surrounding the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is about traditional things and security and longing to be, you know, and marriage of all things. So we could be dealing with a marriage here that is gone to such a toxic state that we can't have it anymore. Simple as that. It needs to be cut away. That's what's going on. And the snake man, yeah, he's there. So the next card is 9, the flowers. So the flowers symbolize a gift or something you are happy to receive coming at you. So it's good news. But if we go back over this, that's also about love, loving thoughts, loving things coming at you, love, right? So if we look at this and reverse the whole set of cards, I read them forward, now I'll go backwards. We got the 9, the flowers, so we have a loving relationship or a present of some kind coming at you in a loving way. And then we got 7, the snake. Okay, so that's malicious intent. And then we got 10, the cutting away, the scythe, where we need to cut things away, and then 17, move. So to me, when I'm looking at it, it's like there's a relationship here that has malicious intent, and it needs to be cut because we need to move forward. That's really, I mean, it's a complete sentence. So, interestingly enough, the Virgo male single reading I just, well, I'm saying I just did, but I did, was basically same thing. And it seems like we're very similar, whether we're single or in a couple, we're feeling like we're single, and we're going to make that official because things here are not working. And if we got a marriage, it is in shambles, and we are arguing and quarreling. So it's a madhouse, and there's a lot of chaos and stuff going on. But there seems to be a root here, and this person may come forward. Okay, this is also another scenario they're kind of shouting at me, is we may get into an argument, settle the argument, and then we're given gifts to kind of make up for what we did or whatever happened. But that also is coming with the intent that of you know, just deviousness, right? So I'm not gonna, I'll go to the next line here because it's pretty clear cut there. Now, the first card we get in the romance, I think I just realized I didn't do the 3 overview cards, but I'll catch that up later. On top of the movement, the storks, we have the 2 of coins. 2 pentacles in the romance deck is about a cantankerous couple. Those people that argue and bicker and, but at the end of the day, they go back and whatever. But I feel like here we've gotten to the point where at the end of the day, we're not sleeping in the same bed. One's in the garage and one's in a hotel, right? I mean, it's getting to the point where we can't fix things anymore. So this is the decision, the different viewpoint, right? Something hit this man. He's got to take a different either he's been taking it too casually, which is kind of the sense I'm getting. He's letting it fly over his head, and now suddenly he has to deal with it, and he's got to make a decision here. Because there's a lot of energy here where he's really, I feel like he's full of direction. He just hasn't been given the get-go here. Hasn't been given the symbol to go, and I don't know what that is, but nonetheless, okay, we dip into the romance. There's no romance here. We're bickering and squabbling, and that's the thing. It's kind of getting old, I think, is the thing, right? It's getting old, and we've done this like we're not getting anywhere. So on top of the scythe, we have the 10 of coins. So the 10 of coins is about, moreover, the sense I'm getting here now is that this is about money and finances and gathering of those. So we may be in a position where we're squabbling about the finances, okay? And it's ruining the intimacy, okay, or even the anything that brings out the emotions, right? We're squabbling about that. So on top of the 7, which is interesting as well, on the snake we have the 7 of swords. 7. I mean, 7 to me is a lucky number, but here it's not good. We have the lying, cheating, and betrayal on top of that. Like, that snake is liar, cheater, thief. Basically, that's that card of the deck, okay? And we get into the romance deck here on the 7 of swords. Same idea, only this is after the fact. We've been betrayed. Now what, right? So it's kind of an evolution here. We got a malicious person in our midst that is really trying to hurt us, and we've been betrayed by them harshly, okay? So, because I mean, there's 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, that just support it, the argumentative factor. So on top of the flowers and the gift, we have the 3, which is interesting, because as I was laying this, they're going, the Empress rhymes with mistress. So we could have someone here, instead of dealing with an issue, they just run off and get. Now, that could have been the malicious behavior, or it could be. And I feel like this is, man, I feel like this can go either way. I feel like the Virgo male could have had this done to him. So now he's going to go out and do it. But he has not yet broken the relationship, even though it's no surprise here it's coming. But there's something going on here. We could have a mistress in our midst, either on the partner's end or on your end. But this is a female. It's coming in a female form, so I'm getting a sense here it's on his side. He's going to go after, or whatever the situation is, right? There's a male here that's going to go after something on the side. Maybe that's what he's waiting on. Okay, now we're going to move into the sex cards here. The first card I get for that is the 5 of Pentacles, and that card don't fit. Okay, with all of this struggle and strife and whatever, the only way this could fit is if someone was if we're in a toxic relationship. We're breaking up, we're getting back together, we're breaking up, or not even breaking up, but we're arguing and then we're making it up. We're arguing and then we're making it up, okay? Another thing is here, because we have that Empress and that's what followed it directly, we may be, because the 5 of Pentacles in the romance deck, I take it to mean that true romance card. We're going to go out and wine and dine someone. We got the violin. We're going out there. We're trying to impress on our highest foot forward. We're trying to do this. So this could also be the scenario that's going through this Virgo male's energy field over the winter, okay? Now, on top of the 10 of Pentacles, we get the Ace of Pentacles, which is interesting. Because 10 is the end of the groupings, right? It's the last number before we look at all the characters. So there's a completion here of something. Now this man, I feel, is very strong, stable and sound financially. Now the Ace of Pentacles is a new start, a new beginning. So we may have this man have his eyes set on a direction forward and jumps right into there. Just starts going there, whining and dining. But I do not see any break here. So if he does so, he's going to be doing it on the lam. He's going to be doing it as part of a betrayal. It's like, I'll hit you back. You got me, now I'm going to get you. And it's before it's completely finished. Before there's a break, this man goes out and it's tit for tat. Okay? So as we move on to the 7, which is the betrayal card and the romance side, I feel like that's more his energy of having been hit by this. You know, maybe he got betrayed or whatever it was. It was a huge hit to the relationship. Cannot go past this, right? Very hard anyway to do it. And that's him sitting there going like, now what? And not being happy that I have to go, but it's like I have to go, right? It's kind of like a forcing, but at the same time, this is kind of a pushing and urging, I think, to grow past this. And then on top of that, we get the Knight of Swords. Now, yeah, I'm going to jump to the next card under the Empress, and you get the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups explains true love, all of those deep-seated feelings that you drop into, and it's in the beginning. It's only the second step here in a relationship. So there is an Ace of Pentacles and a Two of Cups. So we are moving along in a different direction. Okay. And not only that, the Knight of Swords comes in here, and it seems like, oh man. Okay, so we start off in the bedroom here. We start off with the Five of Pentacles. So there's definitely a direction this man is headed. Not dealing with the relationship that he's got, because I'm getting a sense here there's a married man, and he is not going to break from his marriage or relationship in order to find someone else. So we are on the lam here. We got a marriage, but we're going out and stepping out. And like I said, this may have been done to us, but this is what's going on. So he is in full romance mode. He is turned on high voltage here. And I mean, you might want to go to the Virgo single, because this is all wrapped up. This saga is a big deal here over the last, even to summer. We're moving in, and this is the thing. Now, he has got his sights set on someone, and he moves forward to wine and dine her and impress her to the highest degree that he can pull off. Now, it seems like the Ace of Pentacles, we have a beginning here. We have an acceptance of this, but I get a sense here and nobody knows nothing. Okay, so there's stuff going on here and nobody knows. And on top of that, the Knight of Swords is creeping in there to say, you know what? There's a high drive in the bedroom here. And we got to watch our step, because with this dude, he always can overstep his bounds. So it could be a symbol of being highly, highly passionate about someone and overstepping the bounds in the bedroom. So beware of that. I want to pull another card, but I'm going to resist. I'm going to let it go, because I feel like this man, because of the fiery wands that are in here, he is overly out of his element, right? He is all fired up in these ways and going in that direction. So my sense is that he is overpowering a jump to move to a different direction. And even though it gets started and starts going here, we have no symbol whatsoever dealing with the marriage he's in. So, you know, he's got to deal with that. So we end up at the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is about the Ace of Pentacles is feeling great and grounded with someone. So, you know, my last reading here with the Virgo male single, you need to check that one out, because basically I was saying there's a past life connection here. You don't believe in that? Well, these are going to explain some of the feelings that you're having that you can't explain for yourself. So what's going on here is we have someone coming forward, or someone has come forward, or he has an eye on someone that has sparked his interest to the highest degree that is kind of almost unbelievable. And this man is very sensible, very, you know, whatever, but he has flown right out of his gravity field here and floating through this love zone, and he don't know what the hell's going on. I feel so much. Well, this is what it is. It's like you guys have had consecutive lifetimes, like 3 to 5, they were telling me in the last reading. They're going, yep. And that is basically times where you are with someone happily loving and and then, you know, you come back in, they wipe your memory, and then, you know, and then suddenly, you know, you know these people you gravitate to, you feel like you've been with them all your life. That's the Ace of Pentacles. That's that feeling of comfort that you have with someone that just is so attractive, right? And it's the Ace, so that's that feeling of wanting more. Then they go from the Ace of Pentacles into the Two of Cups, man. That's where all the emotions come in. So that's the highest love card you can get in that zone, right? If you go to the Two of Wands, well, then that's different, because you're working with fire and passion, not the depths of love and emotion. But he's going to be dipping into the depths of love and emotion. It's right under that Empress. So that could be Mistress. So be aware of that. This is what's going on. Oh, man, the cross watcher's just going to be hopping on this one, because there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of meat here that he's got to go through. So he's got a lot of stuff to think about, and it seems like he's thinking about things differently now than he has, so that's a good thing. Now, because I went I went horizontally, and I'm going to go vertically, but before I do, I'm going to go back to the overview and check in here, because I never overviewed it first, and it's like, what? How did I miss that? So I feel like I don't know, maybe there's a reason. So the first card we get out of that set, okay, these were for the general energies I was supposed to put at the beginning of the video. The first card is sleep. So I feel like that's the position this man has been in for the last while, because again, my past reading telling, you know, there's an overdue tag on this thing. We've been putting up with stuff here, avoiding to a high degree, and not wanting to create havoc, but havoc is created nonetheless, and it's worse than, you know, So the sleep is really a symbol of the man not wanting to look at the reality of what's going on. So because the Hangman's there, I feel like that reality now is set in. He had no choice but to look at it. It was right in front of his face. So that's highly, you know, that's the struggle as well. Internally, externally, is, you know, what the hell's going on? Like, kind of being slapped in the face, but at the same time, there's evidence there. There was flags there. We just weren't listening, weren't paying attention, busied up, you know, intentionally not to see. Because we had instincts, we just weren't listening. So next, on the overall, is focus. And this is what I feel he's gained at this point, is a focus to really see and take everything in. And even though I don't know that he's processing it on all levels, like I think his processor's a little shot there, but he has no choice but to face it. It's just, how are we going to deal, right? So he is focused now, I feel like, just a completely different direction. He's just, you know, we had a situation there. He's not dealing with that, so he's going to look at something else. That's really what's going on here, is he's going to look in a different direction. Now, the last card I get for the general energies overall is dedication, and I feel like he's highly dedicated to attack this area. But again, I feel a hesitancy or a waiting on something to happen. Like there's a domino here, it's got to fall before everything goes, right? So that's really what it is. There's something here he's waiting on, and I don't feel it's have anything to do with his partner, like his marriage or whoever he's trying to get away from here, or whatever happened. I don't feel like he's waiting on anything from there. I think he's waiting on something from a different direction. So there's something there that's attributing to that. Now, so I'm going to get back in here and see if we can uncover more as we go. Sorry, horizontally, vertically. Okay, so the first card, right, we had the Hangman, and that was that different perspective. Now, on top of that, we got the King of Swords. So that's that, and that's really, they literally spelt it out for me, stubbornness. So there's a stubbornness here to want to accept or deal or look at this relationship, and I feel like it's the marriage that he's in, or the long-term relationship that you're in. If you're not married, it's a very long-term committed, you know, like everybody knows, it's traditional relationship. So I feel like the King of Swords is kind of expanding on the fact that, yeah, we've changed our perspective. We had to see things straight, but we're kind of dipping into a zone here where we're going off in anger and resentment, and that's not good either. So it's kind of that's the King of Swords, man. He's pissed right off, and he don't care. He lets everyone know, and everybody, I mean, you could see it on him. It's all there. He's not hiding anything for anyone. And he will go out and cut things out, you know, like, and do damage as well, right? Because that sword is like, I'm gonna do damage, and don't get in my way, that kind of thing. So this is what's going on with the King of Swords energy. Now, on top of that, we get the 17, which is the Stork, which is about movement. So, right, he's got this perspective slapped in his face. Now he's going to take action and move in a pissed off manner, no less. But that has created the movement forward. And the universe is going, you know, this ain't ideal for the direction we're wanting to go. But nonetheless, we got him moving. And that was the goal here. We had to get him to see straight and get moving, because he sure as heck wasn't listening to hints or tells or anything like that. So we needed to go one step further. We got the movement. Now, after the two of coin comes after that. So two of coin is about bickering couples, right? Because here it's like these two kids really symbolizing the immaturity of it all. Like there could be a lot of immature squabbling going on that you just, it's kind of habitual, really. And that's really a lot of the, so we're trying to move away from that, the squabbling and the back and forth, right? With the negative energy. Then on top of that, when we get into because that's the romance part, so that's his partner right there. And then we get into the 5 of Pentacles, which is, yeah, I'm gonna go out and get. And not only that, I feel like he's very active in choosing, going forward, and like laying out the red carpet for another direction. Okay, so you gotta be aware of the trip ups there. Now, the next line, we started with the Chariot. So again, the movement highly aspected here. We want to move, and we're gonna move, and that's what's going on. Now, on top of that movement, we have the Star, because that's the universe going, yes, this is good. We need to have hope for the future, because we've really done all we can do here, and we need to move forward, right? So the Star is about hope and wishes and dreams. You know, suddenly I do feel a sense of lifting off, a burdening off this guy's shoulders. Like, yeah, it pisses him off 75% here, but there's a 25% where he's starting to realize that's an unburdening. We've been burdened all this time, and we didn't recognize it, and we haven't quite got out of it to feel the full appreciation effect, but nonetheless, we're moving in that way. So there will be a sense here of realizing that we're moving away from something that really had us locked down. Okay, so on the Star is the Scythe, and that's the cutting. What do we need to do? We need to cut. We need to move, take action, and cut things off, you know, in this direction, because this is not helping us. And then on top of that, we have the 10 of Pentacles, and I feel like that's the security. I feel like actually the Virgo male is worried about his finances. And if you're married and divorced, that kind of thing, there's a lot of stress that comes with that, right? And women's, you know, how do they do? They stand behind the thread all the time. I'll take you for everything you got. And you know what? That really works on men. So I think he needs to think about that in a factual way. So if he's going to go out in action, the first thing he better do is find out what the parameters are here. If I get a divorce, what's the deal? Where am I really? Where will I sit financially, instead of letting the partner power trip? Because I feel like this man is being tripped on, meaning The partner is power tripping, but they don't know what they're talking about. Like they're threatening things that is holding this guy from leaving, and he doesn't have all the facts straight. He may have a percentage in his mind, like, oh, I got to do 50, but it may not be so. It may not be so, right? So fact check, get that through and see if that helps you any, because I feel like that's one thing that's holding you back is finances. I'm not going to get a divorce here because I don't want to split the cash. Look into it. It won't be as bad as you figure. Next, 10 of Pentacles. When we have the Ace of Pentacles on top. Now, we have the same suit, and there's all that space in between. Where did all those cards go? We went from the 10 down to the Ace. So we finished a situation here, and we're starting a new one. And that's really the thing. And that's what I see in between it is the finances. That's what I feel. It's like there's a financial situation here, and that's the burden at this point to make a decision or to keep things under wraps. I don't want to say nothing because financially I could get raped, and I don't want to do that. Well, look into it legally and figure out where you truly stand. I think you'll be breathing a little easier. Just do that and see what happens. No, because I feel like there's a lot of people that they spit out information that is not of fact. And I feel like this man is being held by that. He's being suppressed by that. There's something here that is not fact. It's being spit out, and it's working on him to do exactly what it's meant to do by the person, by the snake, right? As we move, next row. Bad. It's not good. But the bottom line here is, there's a lot of hurt feelings, a lot of stuff that hasn't been dealt with, and that's really what's going on here. We're either going to shuffle up and deal, or we put the deck away and we go like, something else, checkers. Like, just switch it over. And he seems like he's switching, but I don't think he's got to kind of deal a little bit here. Finish the game out, because he's got one game going and another one starting. So anyway, 7 of Pentacles, that's that waiting, right? Waiting on what? So he may be waiting for things to get better in the relationship. He may be waiting on someone else to make a change. I don't know. The next card I get is the 5 of Wands. So that's about that struggle and strife and squabbling. So maybe he's waiting for that argument to let go, to calm down, to lose its fire, right? Yeah. Now, the next card I get on top of that is just more struggle and strife, is that snake coming out and biting you and going, how do you like that? And you want another one? And he keep doing it. And I feel like this is really this is harsh. I'm sorry. It's coming off harsh. But they download that energy, and then I get that feeling and I come forth with it. And it's like a pissed off, like, are you kidding me? And then I get that other side. It's like, no, I'm going to give you another one. I'll give you another one. And it's like this person can come in and be all soft and soft-sided and then do it again. And then they just keep doing it. And it's like they're relentless. When you get this snake, you truly can't reform that. Not this one. There is another snake in this deck that can be reformed. It's a transformation snake. So it means it's kind of like the death card. We can move and change and transition. This one you can't. This one is set. It is like really evil, right? I mean, look at it. It's just not nice. So you cannot tame that, right? And I feel like, I don't know, maybe that's what he's waiting on. So anyway, that's that. Then the next card we get is the 7 of Swords in the romance deck, and that's about the pissed off nature. Like, this ain't going anywhere because we're both pissed. And we're not talking the way we should be talking. We're squabbling immaturely, and nothing's getting accomplished. And then on top of that, we have the Knight of Swords, and they're peeking his head in there going, yeah, we're going to go in a new direction with a new relationship, and we're going to take charge in the bedroom, and we've got to watch ourselves because that is not our natural state, right? That's not the natural energy. We got a lot of vindictiveness behind us, and you can't really, you got to get rid of that. Can't sidestep it. You either carry it or you don't. And this man's carrying it, right? So he's got to watch that he doesn't take that out. Like, if he's going in a new direction, he's going to take it out in the bedroom. That's kind of the thing I'm getting, is like to a degree where We've got 2 surrounding cards here. Very, how do you say, beneficial for a new start. But that Knight of Swords in the middle is saying, you know, just watch your stuff there because we could offend very easily. We could overpower someone in the bedroom, and that could come off as being very destructive in that new direction. But nonetheless, it ends with the 2 of Cups. So, but the last row, 5 of Wands, struggles again. And then the Hierophant struggles where? In the marriage, in a partnership, in something that was strong, sturdy, and stable at one point, or at least thought to be so, right? For a while, they're going, it was for a while, but it shifted quite quickly. And the refusal to see from this point of view, we wanted to see it from rose-colored, and that's where we stayed. But we didn't realize we weren't in it enough, hey? Not in it enough, but how do I say that? We weren't attentive enough in the relationship to understand its downfall. And then on top of the Hierophant, we have the 9, the flowers. So there's, out of all this bitterness and angry, there is some kind of thing here that comes at him. Some sense of loving communication forward. Could be in the form of a gift, could be in the form of actual communication, but gentle and light, and almost to a degree that it's feathering in there. You know, it's not a direct confrontation or a direct, I'm saying attack here because I'm in snake mode, but it's not a direct line. It's very subtle. You know, that's why I say gift, almost like, you know, maybe an admirer or whatever. But I feel like it's not, there's no admirer of this man. This man has definitely got a direction he wants to go. But somehow, I don't know if it's connected to that or not, he gets a gift, a loving gift, a soft energy that comes in, makes him happy. So you can look forward to that. And then, of course, they have the Empress on top of that. So, interestingly enough, I feel like it's not given by her, but for some reason, there may be something he's waiting on from her that comes without her knowledge. Does that make any bloody sense? No. But it's almost like this woman's not going to come forward and say, yeah, hey, how's it going? You know, let's do stuff. And then it makes him happy. It's not like that. It's more like a passive thing, like, there's a sign or a signal that he gets, a sign. They're going, it's a sign. He gets from this woman the okay, like the green light. They're going, and then zoom. And then this guy's, that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for the green light. And then that 9, the flowers, that's his green light. So he gets it. And there she is right there, signifying, yes, this is the direction. And on top of that is the 2 of Cups. And it's like, boom, we're jumping right into things. So I'm going to leave it on that high note. But there is no breakup here of this marriage. And I am very heavily steeped in this being a marriage, even though it cannot be. But for those that aren't, take that into account. That's a huge tipping point here, I feel, for this man. This is something to do with this. Yeah, he's got some decisions to make here. And I mean, he's fired up in all energies to just bolt. But he's waiting on, I guess, you know, validation from that area that he's looking at, with her not knowing, no less. But no matter, he's waiting. And he gets the signal, and then boom, he's gone. That's it. All you see is her and him and her together. You see the Empress, and then he's going right straight directly to her. So that is basically where this man is headed. Okay, so whatever the parameters, man, you're just gonna have to figure it out wherever you sit in that. So I'll go over the energies again here. The sleep is really about him. I think they're really wanting to acknowledge the fact that we need to learn from this relationship, because we really were asleep the whole time here. We had about 2 to 3 months of good stuff, and the rest just started to go downhill. And we got to do better in the next round. That's what they said. We got to do better in the next round, because this ain't going to pass. So the next card you get is focus, and that's the thing. He's truly focused on a different direction here. There's no doubt about that. And again, waiting on a sign or a signal to go, right? I don't know that it's instinctively, because I feel like there's a misinterpretation here of instinct. But nonetheless, he ends up on dedication, and I think that's the new direction. He's just dedicated to make some changes here, and he's going to move, take action, and all this stuff. So I feel like he's dedicated to change things, like drastically. That's what they said, very drastically. This man is going to change things. It's not just going to be, okay, we're broken up. It's going to be like, I'm going to move, change my job, get a new place, all this stuff. It's like huge. You know, it's like all these planets are lining for this dude. Get the hell out of Dodge. And this is your chance to jump and go. So I don't know. You're gonna, there's, you know, it's not just easy peasy, right? But another thing, watch your finances and get official advice on this, not just Buddy says, because he had a divorce 10 years ago. Laws change, things change, percentages change, and you need to look into that, because I feel like that's the pivot point here. That's why this man's not moving. He didn't want to lose it all, but he's not gonna. But he has to play right in order to get that. If he starts playing on the wrong side and dipping, we could have problems. So that may help you or not help you. I don't know. You may take that advice or not. I don't know. But that is something that I'm instinctively given. Find out the facts from the source legally. What you can and can't do. Don't let someone else tell you, especially the partner, because they're just spewing out crap. That's going to really keep you where you're feeling you don't want to be. And that's that whole, that's kind of like the, what is it, the Eight of Swords, where we're surrounded and blinded because we're thinking that that's fact, but it's spewing out. So anyway, that was highly guided. So for the Virgo male in a couple relationship, this really is wrapped up in the Virgo male single, Virgo male from last season here, summer. Look into it. It's all tied together. All three are tied. I'm like, oh, are we going to go off in a different note? We stayed in the same bucket. We're all here, and it's life-changing time, and it's time. And that's the thing, and we just have to decide. Really, I think the bottom line here is we just have to decide to do this in the best way possible, and sometimes taking too long to think about things can harm us. So on the other end of that, we really have to think about karma and accumulating and paying, because I feel like this man, if he's had a lot done to him, and I said this in the last reading too, if he's had a lot done to him, he's ready to cash in, and the next relationship will be the balance of that. But if he starts ditching karma, that's going to be taken off his list, right? It's going to be stroked off. So be aware of how you deal with the ending, because that really can screw up the new beginning. So that's really something that's helpful forward. So yeah, morals and fiber and all of that. Think of that. Take that into account, because that really can make or break your next direction. Because if we go there and we're married and we don't break things and we're just, you know, underhandedly coming in there, it's not going to make there's no foundation for the way forward. Even though there's good lovey-dovey stuff coming in, we may not have a good foundation because it's built on lies, right? And whatever. So man, heavy duty, life-changing stuff. So that is the reading for the Virgo male in a coupled relationship for the winter of 2018 into the winter of 2019. So I'm in Canada, so October, well, I'm saying October, it'll be the end of October I get these out. November, December of 18, January, February, March of 19. And that'll be the period of time where this whole drama will play out. And it seems like it's dramatic, chaotic, all of that. Confusing, all of that. So I think, too, maybe getting some distance, period, just help you see straighter, because there's chaos everywhere. And he's surrounded by argumentative and struggles and strife, and it's just everywhere. So that, you know, signal here, cut and get out, run, right? So whatever way that holds. So it seems like there's something good in the future here, but we got to watch our boundaries karmically. so that we don't mess that up, because that is karmically you're deserving this relationship forward. But if you start it in a bad way, it could screw that up as well. There, said it. Okay, so take care over the holiday season. Be safe. And yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all of that. Hopefully things work out for the best. Well, it is for his best. So that's, you got to go with that. And I think you just use your instinct. You figure out, hone in on what that is, and you'll figure it out. So take care, have fun, and be kind.